All right, what's up, YouTube? All right, so I kind of paused this story, the war with the bikers, for a couple of reasons. But one of the reasons is because I wanted to find a way to be able to safely put my homie Jimmy in the video, whether it would just be in a phone call or whatever, right? But I knew him being on ISR parole, I'm not risking you, bro, over some YouTube content, right? Even though I know he wanted to be in the story, right? But to make a long story short, I think Jimmy got violated and sent back to prison. He's been out like probably about 4 or 5 months. And I think he might have started using again, possibly. Because for like the last 2 weeks, ever since I call his phone, it goes right to the voicemail. We all know what that means. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of fucked up, because homie basically just disappeared. But I'm pretty sure he's in the county jail. But I know his case was from one of these other weird ass counties, right? So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about that whole situation. Like, damn, bro, you couldn't last to the end of the story? Shit be breaking my heart, man. And I'm like, damn, you know what? I can't be more worried about your situation than you, is what it comes down to, man. If that's the case, then it's like, damn, that's never gonna, that's never gonna be a good look, man. But yeah, man, I got the flights today, man. I threw on the flights, yo. Old school flights. These are actually some of my favorite shoes. They're comfortable as hell. I was gonna go with the Vans, the Coach Vans. These are pretty. I like these joints, but you gotta put the inserts in them, like the Dr. Scholl's gel shit in these. These are like Chucks, damn near, man. But yeah, I like them though. But yeah, man, I be trying to show y'all some positive shit, in this negative ass world, man. And I also am a negative ass motherfucker. So I'm not fake positive. Every day isn't just, you know, a party with me, man. It's not all good. I make it look good, but I be going through a lot of shit. One of my female cousin, she has cancer right now in her breast and under her armpit. So it's like, I be having shit going on in my life that makes it so I don't want to talk to y'all at all. I don't like telling these stories, man. I gotta dread shit up from the past, you know. As I'm telling this story, homies don't even make it to the end. Like, it's like, fuck, man. So that's why I paused that story, but I'm gonna continue, right? So after I break Tony Kramer's jaw, I beat the shit out of Jason Marshall, choke him out over a barbed wire fence, sever half his ear, and I stab Ryan Bueller in his back, which some people said I stabbed him in his ass. Like, no, I didn't stab him in his fucking ass. He's just 6'6". So when I stabbed him, it was like in his low back. But I guess it came real close to hitting his kidney. The doctor said it was like a centimeter or two away from him potentially dying from that. Anytime you stab or shoot somebody, y'all, there's no safe place to do this, man. You're always risking killing them, right? So, good thing he survived, because it wasn't that serious where I wanted the dude dead, you know what I'm saying? He just came into the fight on some bullshit with a weapon. So it escalated, right? But yeah, the crazy thing about that story is, so we all mount up to leave. As we leave, we pull out the end of the driveway, we take a right, and the cops parked on the side, like on the side of the road. We drive past him. All of a sudden, nothing happens. He doesn't follow us. He lets us leave. Nothing. At this point, nobody's called the cops, no shit like that. It's 100-man party, 100 people, men and women. So mind you, it wasn't 100 brawlers that we had to go against. It was maybe 10 of them. Maybe. But once I broke down those 3, that was it. Those were their toughest hitters. The funny thing about it is Jimmy's like, man, that was like the highlight of my whole life, Nick. He's like, you know what? I know you're the kind of friend that I can call in the middle of the night and you'll get up and you'll go face 100 people with me and win. He's like, bro, that feeling right there, there's nothing that can amount to that. But to me personally, that wasn't the highlight of my life by far. It's got to be more than that in life, you guys, than, backyard brawls and all that type of shit, street fights and shit, shootings, stabbings. Your memories should be better than that. You got to have memories that are better than that. We all got kids and shit like that. You should have better memories than that with your kids. As a matter of fact, me and one of the homies just went to Wisconsin Dells. We both been there when we were kids, but my wife gets vacations through her job, so she hadn't been using them. So I'm like, fuck it, let's use them. So we went to Wisconsin Dells twice in the last month, chilling. He brought his girls with him and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. My son didn't really want to go. He's like 20. He's like, oh, I got to start school and all that. Yeah, whatever. It's cool, whatever. But I wish he would have went. But yeah, it was a good time though, you guys. The moral of the story is just, the street shit really ain't worth it. Even when you win these fights, you're still sore. You still feel like you got your ass beat. Remember, I got sucker punched in the back of the head by Tony. You still feel like you still know you went through the gauntlet. Even when you win, pain still goes with that shit. There's 2 ways you're going to lose a fight, okay? Thinking that you can't win out the gate and thinking that you can't lose out the gate. If you have those 2 mentalities going into a fight, you're probably going to lose. If you're like so dumb that you think your opponent can't fuck you up, you'll probably get fucked up. And that's just the truth of it. Those are the first 2 ways you're going to lose a fight. So the funny thing about this scenario, you guys, was that all these dudes were like, we're snitching, like, fuck that. Everybody except for Ryan was like, we're snitching. We're snitching on Nick. Fuck that. We're telling, right? And they didn't. I ain't never had somebody threaten to snitch in a scenario like that and then just not. Without me threatening them or saying or doing anything, they just told everybody they were going to snitch, but in all actuality, were too scared to. That shit was funny as hell. Like, damn, I never had nobody pull that one. That was different. But, yeah, Tony had to, eat through a straw. Jason lost half his ear. Buddy almost got murked from getting stabbed in his kidney. I just trying to stab him in his lower back. There's just not really a safe place to stab somebody, y'all. So, but yeah, that to me, that wasn't like the highlight of my whole life though. To me, that was actually the beginning of me developing a cocaine habit. Because remember in the beginning of the story, how I told you we snorted that little 1/2 gram of coke. I broke that shit down. We snorted it. And I feel like that was the beginning. I know it was. Now that I'm tracing the steps backwards, that was the beginning of me thinking coke wasn't that bad of a drug. Me thinking maybe coke was like, had some kind of place in my life, which it didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that I obviously didn't learn back then. It took me a while to figure all this out, maybe up until now, you know. But that night, even though, you know, I rode so hard, and our victory was just so righteous, it gave me some kind of complex, I think. You know, it did something. So to me, it wasn't the highlight of my life, man. You know? And then we'll get to the point where, remember my boy Tiny, my right hand man Tiny? He was there trying. This was all basically happened over them chasing pussy. That's all this was really about, you guys. Yeah, bikes got knocked over. A little skirmish happened before all this, you know, this was the second fight scene, you know? So shit happened that probably shouldn't have. And at the end of the day, they started that shit. Looking back on it, knowing all the facts, talking to Jimmy about it recently, going over shit, like, yeah, they started that shit. Even Jimmy was like, yeah, man, like, you always taught me, bro, don't fuck with people's cars and their house, you know, like their cars and their bikes and shit like that, and just don't fuck with people's nice shit. I didn't even know I instilled that in him. He was like, yeah, that's something you instilled in me, bro. So I knew that the guys were kind of wrong, but shit still had to happen. You know, they were wrong in that scenario, and I still did all that shit. But I don't ever want to do that again for nobody, except for either myself or my own son or my wife. Like, I don't ever want to be in these scenarios again where I'm risking, you know, 3 different assault cases. You know what I'm saying? Fucking 30 fucking years in prison if ran consecutive type shit. I don't want to be in these type of scenarios. I'm too smart for that shit at this point. I didn't go to the party. I never would have went to that party. I already knew what would have happened there. And it did. All over some pussy, though. All over just trying to have a good time and trying to be where the bitches are at. That were in their league or whatever, the bitches that were in their little circle, right? But you can't be coattailing these bitches, man, everywhere, man. They'll lead you into some bullshit. Not either not caring or just not even knowing that they're putting you in a bad situation. So we'll get into shit like that in the next few stories. But yeah, so Tiny, my right hand man Tiny, you didn't want to fight that night, Tiny. So you just left them all hanging, chasing them bitches around. You were probably in a good scenario. You're probably like, fuck it. I don't want to get into a fight right now. Fuck this shit up and not end up fucking with the bitch that I want to fuck with tonight. I don't know what his philosophy was on it, but I feel like he was just having a good time on his own and felt like at that point he didn't really need them in that scenario. You know, maybe it was even better for him that they got jumped and had to fucking hightail it up out of there. More bitches for him. I don't know what it was really about. But what happens next to Tiny, now that shit right there. I've already told the story, but I kind of forgot. Jimmy reminded me that Tiny was there that night, and I remembered that was another reason. That was another reason that I had to take him in that garage. Yep. This story goes hard. I'm going to retell it because it's relevant to this story. When I told it before, it was part of a whole nother story about us selling weed and all this crazy dumb shit that ended up basically bringing down this RICO indictment, right? So that was like a 10 or a 12 part story. I'll put a link to it and it's on my playlist up top in the toolbar. You know what I'm saying? If you go to my playlist, a lot of these stories are organized. But I've been through a lot of shit, man. I've had to do a lot of fucking things that there's no way that 99.9% of you people could do. Some of y'all could pull this shit off, but there's not too many people that can pull it off. You know, like, I understand why people be like, man, people that don't know me and have never heard of me think that this shit is just lies. They think it's just fictitious. When you start naming victims, all you gotta do is go look them up on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Go look them up in like the Mount West Tonka area. Is I think where they went to high school at. So if you look those names up, you should see that those people really exist. I think somebody was telling me Ryan Buell was like a Hell's Angel or something like that. I'm like, how the fuck? They must let anybody in. I mean, he looks intimidating, but he's not. He's just not a hard ass motherfucker. Like when I stabbed him like that, his mom was like, he lived with his mom at the time. Mind you, we're like in our 20s back then, right? He lived with his mom at the time. And his mom was like, if you don't fucking talk and tell the police what happened, you're kicked out of here. So he ended up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, getting kicked out of his house because he didn't want to snitch on me for stabbing him, but he threw that bottle first. So it wasn't necessarily, there's no self-defense in Minnesota, though. We have a duty to retreat law, so I'm sure I was guilty of something, you know? So at some point, somebody kicked this dude's door in looking for him and shot all his dogs, you know? I think he had like some Rottweilers or something. I don't know if, way back then, people that used to have Rottweilers, not so much pit bulls. You know, they were around, but people used to have Rottweilers, right? So if I'm not mistaken, somebody kicked his door in, shot all his Rottweilers, and this fool blamed it on me. Not with the police, but in the streets. He was like, I never did that to you, bro. I didn't kick your door in and shoot your dogs, man. You know? Now, I don't really, it's not saying that's not me, but I'm not looking for your dogs, homie. And why would I be looking for you still after I stabbed you, you took a L and didn't snitch? Why the fuck would I want to pursue you in any way, shape, or form? As far as Ryan, why would I want to do any, like, bro, come on, man. That shit was done that night. No, the shit was done when I knew you didn't snitch. That's when that shit was done. You know, so the fuck do I care about at that point? So, no, I didn't do that one, though. You know? But that's when I don't really like getting blamed for shit that I didn't do. I do enough shit as to where you don't gotta blame me for shit that I didn't do. You know, but I didn't do that shit, man. But yeah, Tiny though. Tiny gets it worse than everybody though. My boy, my right-hand man, Tiny. He gets it worse than everybody when he comes in the garage. Wait until part 4. Oh. Some of y'all already know what happened to Tiny. But just wait until part 4 though. Tiny fucked up, man. Yeah, my boy Jimmy's locked back down. I wish I would have just put him in the video. Because shit, at the end of the day, who knows? Might be locked up another couple of years. We might not see each other again. Life can be short. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck, man. I know it was the right thing to do to not put him in the video. But I should have. But I couldn't. I couldn't risk him like that, even though, shit, he put himself back in some kind of fucked up scenario. Probably using and shit. You know? It's like, damn, bro, that meth shit, dog. Come on, man. He won't call me if he's on a sick one. That's how I know. That's when I know. When that phone is off and it don't, I already know what's up. You're in the county, dog. I already know. There's only two things when a motherfucker's phone goes to voicemail. They're either in the morgue or the county, man. And I would have heard if something would have happened. You know? He probably don't want to call me from the county. He's not finna call me collect. You know what I'm saying? On some, damn, I got violated. Crazy thing is these are all choices. He knows he has the power. We've had these conversations. We have the power to do whatever we want. That's the truth. Any type of failure is self-sabotage, man. Can't nobody touch us, man. Come on, man. Can't nobody do nothing to us, man. It's all self-sabotage, man. It's all self-inflicted. Self-inflicted gunshot wounds, man. That's why it's hard. If you guys were smart, you would have never felt all this sympathy, all this empathy, and all this compassion for the whole prison YouTube community, because you would have known, if you knew who we really are, then you would just know, like, we don't even need all that. We got the power, man. The only people that fuck us over, really, at the end of the day, the only people that really get us are ourselves. Our demons, our habits. Can't nothing else kill us, man. When you really got the power, only you can kill yourself. When you're really sitting up on that high throne, and you don't have to have a bunch of minions and followers, but when you're to that level within yourself, you know what I'm saying? Then you know it's all on you. Choices. Yeah, things are going to happen that are out of your control, but a lot of this shit is choices. You know? Like, did my boy choose to violate his parole and go back? Yeah. Yeah. Did my cousin choose to get breast cancer and cancer under her armpit after having her first child that's like 3 or 4? No, she didn't choose that, man. So when you do have a choice, you better make a good one, because you ain't always going to have them. But you do have options. You do have choices. Now, they might run out, but you got them. I'm leaving you with that. I'm gone. Shit is deep. I wish I was making shit up. I stressed out about this shit for like a week, 2 weeks, just like, fuck, man, like, I don't even want to finish this story and have to explain that my homie ain't even got violated or something happened. He's MIA. 2 weeks now.